Archangel Michael says, "The ones you loved, the ones whose absence now fills your days with silence and your nights with quiet tears, did not vanish into the dark. They have passed away from this world, but they did not go without leaving behind something eternal, something sacred, something meant just for you. Their voices may no longer reach your ears, and their hands may no longer hold yours, but their souls, so gently carried into God's eternal care, have spoken one final message. And if you truly open your heart now, in this very moment, you will finally begin to understand why they had to leave." Type Amen if you believe. There are some truths that only time can unfold, and some healing that only begins when the heart becomes quiet enough to listen. This message you are about to receive is not made of earthly words, but of divine love that surpasses every explanation, every reason, and every question you've ever whispered into the night. It is a message that was born out of pain, but carries within it a gentle light, the kind of light that reaches into the broken corners of your soul and begins to restore what sorrow tried to take away. In the stillness of your grief, when the world no longer made sense and your breath became heavy with sorrow, heaven saw you. The angels were not far. I stood beside you in the dark, and I heard every silent cry that trembled inside you. The Father's heart broke with yours, for God never intended for love to be separated by death, and yet, in His mercy, He wove meaning even into this goodbye. The ones you miss so deeply, those whose laughter used to fill the room, whose footsteps used to echo down the hallway, whose embrace made you feel like everything would be okay, they were never truly gone. Their bodies returned to the dust, but their spirits were caught up in the light, carried by divine hands into a place that knows no pain, no tears, and no end. And before they went, before the breath left their lungs, heaven allowed them to speak one final thing. And that message, though it didn't come through a whisper or a letter or a spoken farewell, was written deep into the air that surrounds your life right now. What if a simple 7-minute sound frequency could awaken a forgotten brain signal designed to pull wealth toward you like a magnet? Backed by shocking CIA files and neuroscience, this discovery is now changing lives everywhere. Think of debts melting away, promotions arriving, and abundance flowing freely. Click the link in video description and comments below to experience the hidden wealth wave and let your financial destiny shift in your favor today. Their message is this: I had to go, not because I wanted to, but because it was time. My journey on earth had reached its ending, not as a punishment, not as a mistake, but as part of something far bigger than either of us could see. I know you didn't understand, and I know it hurt. I know you begged for more time, and so did I. But heaven called, and I answered, not because I stopped loving you, but because my purpose was fulfilled, and now it is your turn to rise, to carry the light, to become more than you were before. Type 333 to welcome blessings. This message, though quiet and invisible, was left like a flame in your spirit, waiting for you to notice. It was placed in the deep places of your heart where only God and angels walk, and now, through grace, it begins to shine. You are not being asked to forget, to move on as though the love you shared never existed. No, that love was sacred. It was the kind that transforms both souls forever. But now you are being asked to remember it differently, not as something lost, but as something planted, like a seed that must grow into something new. Their departure was not a punishment, nor was it a divine cruelty. It was, as painful as it feels, a sacred transition. For just as the sun must set to give way to stars, some souls must rise to glory so that others can awaken to their own strength. You were never meant to carry this pain alone, and you were never meant to walk forward without help. That is why I was sent. That is why the heavens are still open above you. That is why this moment matters more than you know. You may still feel the weight of sorrow pressing on your chest, and it's okay to feel it, to cry, to ache, to long. God does not rebuke your tears, for He made them. But even as you cry, something holy is happening. Even in your sorrow, there is movement, there is divine purpose, and there is a healing that has already begun. The one you miss is not far, and though you cannot touch them, they are closer to your soul now than ever before. This was not the end of your story, and it was not the end of theirs. This was a turning page, a soft unfolding of something eternal. They were not taken from you, they were entrusted back into the arms of the one who gave them to you in the first place. And just as surely as the sun returns after the night, so too will joy return to your life, not as it was, but as something deeper, stronger, and filled with grace. Hold on to the truth that love never dies. The love you shared still lives, still breathes, still moves between heaven and earth. And every time you remember them with kindness, every time you speak their name with gratitude, every time you keep their goodness alive through your actions, you are answering their final message. You are saying, I received it. I remember. I am still standing, and I will go on. Type 777 if you walk by faith. This is not just comfort, it is calling. Their absence left you with something precious, something that cannot be measured with time or words. It is a legacy of light, a reminder that love does not end with death. It transforms. And through God's mercy, it continues to flow, from one heart to another, across eternity. So breathe now. Let your tears fall if they must, but know this, you are not alone. The story is not finished. And the one who left you with a light that will guide you through every shadow ahead. This is your moment to receive it, to hold it close, and to let it become the beginning of something sacred. Archangel Michael says, when a soul departs this world, it leaves behind more than memories. It leaves behind a rhythm, a sacred echo that continues to move through time, through the heart of those left behind, through the gentle winds that brush against your face in the quiet moments, through the stillness that fills the room where they once sat. What you feel now may seem like loss, but it is the beginning of something eternal. Their voice may no longer fill the space around you, but their message, their presence, their love, still flows through the unseen paths of heaven, searching for the opening in your spirit where truth and healing can finally enter. The final message they left for you is not tied to the past, but meant to awaken something new within you. It was never a goodbye, it was a soft invitation to trust, to grow, and to see beyond the veil that separates this world from the next. You were chosen to carry their light, not as a burden, but as a blessing. The sorrow that aches in your chest is not a sign of weakness, but a reflection of the deep bond you shared, a bond so powerful that even death could not unravel it. They want you to know this: my life may have come to an end on earth, but my purpose has not ended, for you are still here. You are part of my purpose. You are the continuation of all the good that flowed through me. My love did not break when I took my last breath. It expanded, it grew, it moved into every space of your life, so that you would never be without me completely. The grief you feel is sacred, it is holy ground. You walk now through a season that may feel like winter, cold and bare, where everything seems silent and hollow. But even in winter, the roots grow deeper. Even in the quiet, heaven is working. And even when you cannot see the purpose, I assure you, it is unfolding with gentleness and wisdom beyond anything this world could offer. Every tear you shed is seen, every breath you take in pain is held close by the Father who never leaves you, and every question your heart carries is slowly being answered, not through words, but through peace. Type yes to affirm. Sometimes, you may wake up with a heaviness in your soul, and wonder how you're going to make it through another day without them. And in those moments, when your hands tremble from holding back the sorrow, their presence gently moves near. Not in form, but in spirit. In a song that suddenly reminds you of them. In a dream that feels too real to ignore. In a warm memory that returns without warning, bringing both tears and quiet comfort. That is not your imagination. That is their message coming to life. That is love finding you again in new and holy ways. You see, death does not cancel love, it deepens it. It stretches it beyond the limits of what is seen and moves it into the spiritual. Their message is alive, wrapped in God's mercy, shaped by divine hands and sent to you in layers of healing that will slowly unfold in perfect time. The pain you feel now is not where the story ends. It is where your strength will be born. It is where you will find your way back to joy, not by forgetting, but by remembering in a new way. What if you could unlock a secret brain wave that top scientists discovered inside the hippocampus, the very switch that signals wealth and abundance? Hidden from the public for decades, this breakthrough can rewire your mind to attract prosperity faster than you imagined. Picture the stress of bills replaced with financial freedom and new opportunities. Click the link in the video description and comments below to activate this ancient money wave and step into abundance today. Let your heart begin to open, just a little more, to this truth: they are not lost, they are transformed. Their life did not vanish, it blossomed into something eternal. They were gathered into the arms of the Lord, and in that embrace, they became a voice of peace meant just for you. A voice that says, you are going to make it. You are going to heal. You are going to live with more light, more tenderness, and more grace than you ever thought possible, because part of me lives on in you. This is not just comfort, it is a call to begin again. To rebuild slowly, with God by your side. To find meaning not only in their life, but even in their death. And to trust that heaven did not forget you. On the contrary, heaven chose you to receive this message because your spirit has the capacity to hold great love, and with great love comes the gift of transformation. Do not rush this process. Healing is not a race. It is a slow, holy unfolding. It is the rain that waters the dry places of your soul, the light that breaks through the fog, the soft whisper that says, "You are not alone, not for one moment." Their final message to you was not one of despair, but of hope. They are with God, and God is with you, which means you are closer to them than you understand. Let this truth begin to soften the ache. Let it wrap around your thoughts like a warm blanket. The one you miss is not gone. They are just ahead of you now, waiting in the light, cheering you on from the other side of the veil. And they want nothing more than to see you rise again, not in the same way, but in a new way, stronger, softer, wiser, and filled with the quiet power of faith. You are walking through sacred ground, and every step forward, no matter how slow, is a step toward healing. Let the memory of their love become the fuel that moves you. Let their message echo in your spirit until it no longer feels like a wound, but like a gift, a holy reminder that love, when born of God, never ends. Type 555 to receive miracles. Archangel Michael says, "The path you now walk may seem covered in shadows, shaped by the absence of someone who once filled your world with warmth, laughter, and belonging, but their final message was never meant to leave you in sorrow. Instead, it was created in heaven as a quiet flame, placed deep within your heart to guide you through the nights when hope feels far away and comfort feels out of reach. You are not wandering alone in the dark. Their love left behind a trail of light, and today, you are being invited to follow it toward something sacred, something eternal, something that will change the way you see everything. This message they left you, though unspoken in words, was carved into the very breath of heaven. It waits like a blooming garden behind a locked gate, and now, through faith and stillness, the gate is opening. Their words were never lost, they were stored in eternity, wrapped in God's mercy, and now they are gently unfolding into your soul with the kind of peace that only heaven can give. They want you to hear this: though my body could no longer stay, my love did not die with me. It became part of you. It now lives inside the choices you make, the kindness you show, the strength you gather when you feel like falling. My time on earth ended, but our story has not. You were never meant to stop living because I left. You were meant to carry my love forward, letting it become something greater than either of us ever imagined. You may not see the full picture yet. You may not understand why it happened when it did, or why prayers for more time seemed unanswered. But understanding does not always come in the beginning. Sometimes, it arrives softly, over time, through little moments that suddenly make everything clearer. A whisper of peace in the middle of your crying. A gentle nudge to forgive. A sudden courage to begin again. These are not coincidences, they are pieces of the message unfolding, proof that you are being led with love from the other side. Do not fear the memories. They are not there to torment you. They are there to remind you that what you shared was real, holy, and meant to continue bearing fruit. Each memory is a bridge to their soul, and when you walk across it in faith, healing begins to take root. Your heart may tremble, your body may ache from the weight of grief, but there is a hand on your back you cannot see, and it belongs to the one who called them home and promised never to leave you behind. There is no shame in the tears that still fall, nor is there weakness in the moments when you feel you cannot go on. Heaven understands. I understand. The pain you carry is valid. It is sacred. It came from love so deep that it carved a space in your soul. And now, that space is being filled not with despair, but with meaning. You may not notice it yet, but healing has already begun. Slowly. Tenderly. Like dawn creeping over the horizon, it comes not all at once, but with faithful steps. Type 2323 if you trust in God. They want you to live, not in the shadow of their loss, but in the light of their love. They are with God now, and God is surrounding you with grace too vast to measure. Their final message is not about death. It is about life. About how you still have more to give, more to experience, more to become. They are proud of the strength you've shown, of the way you've kept going, even when it hurt to breathe. They see the way you reach for hope even when your hands feel empty. And they are smiling, not in sorrow, but in joy, because you are rising. Every choice you make now, every kind word, every act of compassion, every quiet moment of prayer, it all honors their message. It all brings heaven closer. The veil between you is thinner than you think, and sometimes, if your heart is still enough, you'll feel it, the warmth, the presence, the quiet reassurance that they are not gone, only transformed. And their final gift to you is not wrapped in silence, but in purpose. You are not who you were before they left. You have been changed by love, reshaped by loss, and you are now carrying something eternal within you. A legacy. A light. A divine calling to walk forward with courage, to shine through the cracks, and to let your life become a living answer to their last message. You were never meant to walk backward into the past. You were meant to carry what mattered into the future. Their love is not behind you, it is beside you now, woven into the steps you take, breathing in the spaces where you feel most alone. Let that love lift you. Let it become your strength. Let it lead you toward healing not just for yourself, but for others who are still searching for peace. And always remember, their departure was not the end. It was a return. A return to light, to truth, to the arms of the Creator. And one day, when your own journey reaches its last breath, you too will be gathered into that same light. You will see them again. But until then, live as one who was trusted with a message that carries the fragrance of eternity. Live as one who has been chosen to turn sorrow into hope and love into legacy. What if you discovered a tiny, walnut-sized brain region holds the secret to endless wealth and success? Recently uncovered by groundbreaking research and once buried in classified files, this frequency is now available to anyone ready to listen. Imagine replacing worry and struggle with a life of financial ease and freedom. Interested? Click the link in video description and comments below to unleash this hidden brainwave and start attracting wealth right now. Archangel Michael says, when their final breath left this world, it may have felt like everything beautiful in your life suddenly stopped, like time itself grew quiet and your heart was no longer sure how to keep beating without the sound of their voice, without the comfort of their presence, without the warmth of their love woven into each part of your day. But though they left the physical world, they did not leave you in the ways that matter most, because their last message was not one of farewell, it was one of eternal promise, the kind that God Himself allowed to remain alive in your soul. Type 999 if you trust Jesus. In moments when the pain becomes too heavy to name, when the stillness around you feels unbearable, when every room seems too empty and your chest aches from missing them, I want you to pause and remember this: they are not far. Heaven is not far. And the message they left behind was always meant to bring you closer to that truth. Their soul, now in full peace and joy, left behind more than love, it left behind light. And this light is still reaching for you, still calling you gently to rise, to breathe, to trust again. Their message is being delivered, piece by piece, through every unexpected comfort, every wave of peace that washes over you when you least expect it, every quiet reminder that beauty still exists even after loss. They want you to know this: though I could no longer stay beside you in the way you once knew, I never left you in spirit. I walk beside you in the invisible places. I speak to your heart when you're quiet enough to hear me. I carry you when you feel like falling. And though I'm no longer part of your days the way I used to be, I now live in the deepest parts of your soul, and I will always be with you. This love does not fade. It cannot be erased by time, by silence, or by distance. Love like this, born of God and formed in truth, becomes part of you forever. It changes you, shapes you, and anchors you when everything else feels uncertain. You do not need to fear forgetting them. That kind of love cannot be forgotten. It becomes part of who you are, and it grows into something sacred, something stronger, even when your heart feels broken. And in those moments when you feel lost, when you wonder if you can keep going without them, remember that part of their message was this: you are stronger than you feel. Your life is not over. Your purpose is not done. There are still people who need your presence, still hearts that will be touched by your kindness, still light that only you can shine. And through all of it, their love will be there too, moving through you like a silent flame that never dies. The grief you carry is proof of how deeply you loved. It is not a weakness. It is a sign of the sacred bond that was formed between two souls, a bond that even death cannot destroy. And though it may take time, your heart will begin to find peace. Not because you forgot them, but because their message finally found its way to the center of your spirit. It says, "You are not alone. I am still with you. And I always will be." You may notice it when the wind moves through the trees in a way that feels familiar. You may sense it in the song that suddenly plays and brings tears to your eyes. You may feel it in the dreams that bring comfort in the middle of the night. That is them. That is their love. That is heaven reminding you that the connection you had was too deep to be lost, too holy to be ended by a final breath. Type 1818 to claim miracles. There will come a time when the pain softens, when the memories no longer sting, but instead bring warmth. There will be a moment when you smile not with sadness, but with gratitude. That moment is part of your healing, and it is part of the message they left for you. You are not betraying their memory by living again. You are honoring it. You are carrying it forward. You are showing the world what it means to be shaped by a love that reaches beyond this life. Their final message is not bound by words. It is a sacred energy, flowing from heaven through you into the world. You will feel it when you comfort someone else who is grieving. You will feel it when you laugh again, when you sing again, when you notice the beauty in something simple. They want you to feel joy again, not because your sorrow was wrong, but because your healing is holy. This is not the end of the story. It is a sacred continuation, guided by grace, carried by love, and shaped by the God who never leaves you, not even for a moment. You were chosen to carry this light. You were chosen to walk forward with their message burning in your soul. And every step you take now is not alone, it is surrounded by angels, guarded by love, and followed closely by the one who left, but who never truly left you at all. So take your time. Let each breath become a prayer. Let each tear become a seed. And know, with full certainty, that what you lost in presence, you gained in eternal connection. Their final message is still unfolding, still guiding you toward peace, still proving that in God's kingdom, nothing truly good is ever lost, it is only transformed. Archangel Michael says, every moment you spend remembering them, every tear that falls from the quiet place inside your heart, every time you whisper their name into the stillness, heaven hears it, and so do they. The ones you miss, the ones whose absence still echoes in the corners of your life, did not vanish into silence, and they were not lost in the unknown. They were gathered into something more complete, more radiant, more alive than anything the world can understand. And they did not leave without giving you something sacred. Their final message still surrounds you, not as a fading echo, but as a living presence that walks with you through every breath you take. Type I believe if you believe miracles are on the way. You may not see their face anymore or hear their voice the way you used to, but if you listen not with your ears, but with your spirit, you'll begin to notice the gentle traces of their love that still remain. You'll sense it in the light that filters through the clouds when your soul feels heavy, in the way the air seems to shift when you're remembering them with a love too deep for words, in the sudden wave of calm that washes over you when fear tries to take hold. These are not coincidences. These are pieces of their message reaching through the veil. They are saying to you, please do not think I left you empty. I know your heart aches, I know you wonder why it had to happen this way, but I left you with something precious, my love, my prayers, and my presence that now exists beyond space and time. I am still connected to you in a way that is far deeper than flesh. I am with you when you rise in the morning, and I am near when you lie down in sorrow. I am part of the journey you are still on, and I believe in the light that is still within you. You may feel like everything around you has changed, as if the ground beneath your feet is no longer steady, as if nothing could ever be the same again. And in many ways, that is true. Loss does change us. Grief has a way of altering the way we see the world. But it also brings a sacred invitation, to see life more clearly, to love more deeply, to walk more gently, and to live not only for yourself, but for the one whose memory still breathes through your spirit. They were not taken from you to leave you broken. They were called home to remind you where true peace lives. Their final message is meant to lift you, not weigh you down. And even if your hands tremble under the weight of sorrow, God's hands are holding yours, and mine are around your shoulders, guiding you step by step. You are not being asked to carry this pain forever, but to let it be transformed into a quiet strength, a holy resilience, and a deep compassion for those around you. One day, you will notice that the heavy ache has become a softer longing. The sharp pain will become a tender reminder. And where once there were only tears, you will find a gentle smile forming in their memory. That is not forgetting them. That is healing. That is the beginning of new life. And it is part of their gift to you, a quiet encouragement to keep living, to keep hoping, to keep believing that joy is still possible. What if the missing piece to financial success wasn't luck, but a hidden frequency inside your brain waiting to be switched on? Once activated, this ancient signal unleashes waves of prosperity, opening doors to opportunities you never thought possible. From sudden windfalls to long-awaited breakthroughs, it's transforming lives daily. Want to see how? Click the link in the video description and comments below to tap into the Money Magnet brain wave and begin your journey today. You are not being asked to pretend you are fine, nor to erase the moments when grief feels overwhelming. You are simply being asked to remain open, to healing, to grace, to the slow and sacred process of transformation. The pain you feel is not your end. It is part of the shaping. And through it, something beautiful is being born, something eternal, something holy that cannot be taken from you. They want you to trust that they are safe, that they are whole, and that they are at peace in a place where sorrow can never follow. And from that place, they are sending you their love still. Every day, every moment, every time your heart longs for them. They see you. They are proud of you. They are standing with the angels, watching over your journey with eyes full of light and hearts full of pride for all that you are becoming in the midst of your pain. Type 3030 if you believe Jesus lives in your heart. Let their message lead you into peace. Let it soften the rough places inside you. Let it become a song that you carry in your soul, a melody that reminds you love is never wasted, never forgotten, and never gone. Their life mattered. Their love changed you. And now, their legacy continues through everything you do. You are not just surviving. You are being rebuilt. Day by day, breath by breath, you are becoming someone who understands the sacred depth of love, the kind that stretches into eternity, the kind that does not end at goodbye, the kind that leaves messages behind for those brave enough to listen. Archangel Michael says, in the quiet moments when everything feels too still, when your spirit feels heavy and the world seems to move forward without understanding your pain, their message is still trying to reach you. Not with loud signs or dramatic displays, but with a tender whisper that speaks directly into the fragile places of your soul. They didn't want to leave you hurting, they never wanted to cause you sorrow, and though their time here ended, their presence has become something more eternal, more radiant, and more closely woven into your life than ever before. There is something sacred happening inside of you, even in the ache, even in the moments when you're not sure how to carry on. The message they left behind is not just meant to comfort you, it is meant to awaken something that was always planted within you, something they believed in, something God placed there long before the pain began. You are still being guided, not just by memories, but by divine love that never leaves your side. They are saying to you now, I see you. I see the tears you hide from others. I see the way you try to be strong even when you feel empty. I see how deeply you loved me, and how that love remains like a soft fire still burning. I need you to know that my soul is at peace, and I want that same peace to begin growing in your heart too. I didn't go to leave you shattered, I went so that you could rise into the next season of your life, carrying our love as strength, not sorrow. You were never meant to remain in a place of constant grief. Yes, your loss was real. Yes, it changed everything. But through that change, something new is being offered, a life shaped by tenderness, by wisdom, by compassion that you did not have before. This is not the end of joy, not the end of beauty, not the end of God's plans for your days. This is a passage, a sacred doorway, and you are walking through it with the ones you've lost watching over every step. The nights may still feel long. Some days may feel like too much. But every breath you take, every moment you choose to keep going, is a testament to the love that was shared and the purpose that still remains. You may not feel strong, but strength is not always loud. Sometimes, it's in the quiet choice to wake up and try again. Sometimes, it's in the soft prayer you whisper when no one else is listening. Sometimes, it's simply in not giving up. Your healing matters to them. Your joy matters to them. And they want you to know that moving forward is not betrayal, it is trust. Trust that their love didn't end when their life did. Trust that their spirit is cheering you on as you continue living. Trust that they left this world wrapped in God's peace, and now they want that same peace to cover your life like a gentle, healing rain. Type Amen to trust God's plan for your life. And so, let yourself begin again. Not all at once. Not without tears. But with faith. Let yourself rediscover beauty. Let yourself be open to joy. Let yourself believe that even after loss, there is still a story to be written, and it will be filled with meaning. Let the love you shared become the fuel that strengthens your steps, let it fill your voice with kindness, your heart with gentleness, and your hands with comfort for others who are hurting too. Their final message is not one you will hear just once. It will return again and again, through dreams, through memories, through the quiet ways God speaks when you least expect it. And every time it comes, it will remind you, you are still loved, you are still seen, and you are still being led forward. You may wonder if they knew how much you cared. You may worry that you didn't say enough, or do enough, or hold them long enough. But they know. They carry that knowing into eternity. And they want you to stop punishing your heart with questions that only love can answer. What you gave them, what you shared, how you loved them, it was more than enough. And now, that love is being returned to you in a new way, through heaven's grace, through divine peace, through the quiet presence that never truly left. So rest, child of God. Rest in the truth that nothing was wasted. Rest in the truth that your heart is still healing, and that is okay. You don't need to have it all figured out. You don't need to rush the healing. You simply need to stay open, to love, to faith, to the message that continues to unfold day by day. And as you walk forward, remember this: every step you take in love, every breath you take in faith, every moment you choose peace over despair, you are living out the sacred message they left behind. You are proving that love never ends. You are proving that even after loss, life can still be beautiful. Archangel Michael says, there will come a time when your heart, though still marked by grief, begins to beat with quiet strength again, and in that moment, you'll realize that their final message was not a goodbye, but a blessing, a sacred invitation to keep walking in the light they left behind. What you shared with them, the love, the laughter, the depth of connection, was never meant to disappear with their departure. It was meant to expand, to grow, to stretch into eternity, and continue nourishing your soul even in the most silent hours of the night. Their voice may no longer echo through the rooms you walk in, but their spirit speaks through everything you now notice: the soft glow of morning light, the peaceful rhythm of your breath, the quiet feeling of being held when no one is physically near. These are the places where their message lives now, in the gentle reminders that love is more powerful than loss, and that life does not truly end. It changes, it transcends, and it continues in ways the eyes cannot see. Type 111 if you believe miracles are near. They speak to your soul now, with words shaped not by sound, but by light. I am not gone, not in the way you fear. I simply stepped into a place where time no longer moves the same. I watch over you now with clarity, with peace, and with a love that has become unshakable. I am no longer hurting. I am no longer limited. And though my voice is quiet, my love for you has only grown stronger. There is no distance too great for love to travel. There is no barrier, not even death, that can separate two souls who have been united by something eternal. You may not have known it then, but they prepared you for this. Every moment of joy you shared, every kind word spoken, every embrace exchanged, they were quietly planting strength in your heart for this very season. You are not expected to live as if nothing happened. You are not being asked to erase your sorrow or hide your pain. But you are being called into a deeper truth, a truth that says healing is not forgetting, and moving forward is not letting go. Healing is remembering in a new way. It's allowing love to continue its work, even in their absence. It's opening your soul to the possibility that joy is still meant for you, and that their message was always one of life, not loss. There are moments still ahead of you that are filled with purpose, and they want you to reach them. They want you to live not in the shadow of what was lost, but in the light of what remains. Every act of love you give to others, every moment you spend in peace, every time you choose to keep going, that is you living their final message. That is you becoming the evidence of a love that didn't end. What if I told you financial freedom is not about working harder, but activating a dormant brain signal designed to draw abundance directly to you? Neuroscience proves this sound wave unlocks prosperity faster than any method known before. From unexpected cash to life-changing success, it's already helping thousands. Click the link in the video description and comments below to turn on the ancient money wave and create the life you've always dreamed of today. You may feel the weight of sorrow press on your chest from time to time. You may be overcome by memories when you least expect them. You may find yourself wishing you had just one more hour, one more day. And in those moments, I want you to know that heaven bends low, and the love you feel is met by the love they send. They are close in those moments, not far. They are nearer than you know. Their message is also a reminder that this life is not all there is. That every goodbye on earth is a beginning in the eternal. And though you cannot walk side by side with them now, you are walking toward a reunion that will be more beautiful than anything you could imagine. God has written eternity into your story, and nothing you've lost will be lost forever. You were chosen not to carry this pain alone, but to allow it to become part of your testimony, your compassion, your quiet strength. There is someone in your life, or someone still to come, who will be touched by the peace that now lives inside you, the peace that only comes from walking through grief and still choosing love. And when that day comes, when you reach out and comfort someone else who is hurting, you will feel it, that soft, divine presence around you. That gentle light. That sacred whisper that says, "This is why. This is what my message was for. This is how my love lives on." Type 2020 to claim joy and strength. You are a vessel now. A vessel of memory, of truth, of unending grace. Your sorrow has carved space for something extraordinary. And every day, whether you feel it or not, heaven is working through you, reshaping your life not with loss, but with legacy. You are not just surviving. You are transforming. And your transformation is holy. Let that truth settle into you like sunlight through open windows. Let it soften the ache. Let it speak louder than regret. Let it become the song you sing, not with your voice, but with your life. For you were entrusted with this message for a reason, and now, that message is becoming part of who you are. Archangel Michael says, "You have come a long way through the shadows, carrying a quiet sorrow that only heaven fully understands, and even now, as your heart still holds the weight of their absence, something holy is unfolding within you." The message they left was never meant to remain hidden in silence. It was meant to live, to breathe, to rise like a gentle wind through the fabric of your everyday life, slowly transforming your pain into purpose, your ache into awareness, and your grief into grace. There is a depth within you now that was not there before, a softness that only comes from loss, and a strength that was born in the days when it felt impossible to keep going. You may not see it in yourself yet, but they see it from where they are now, and they are proud, not only of the life you lived when they were with you, but of the way you've chosen to keep going even after they were gone. Their soul, now wrapped in perfect peace, speaks to you with gentle urgency. Don't let my absence stop your becoming. Don't let sorrow steal your voice, or pain silence your gifts. I have been watching you, and though your tears have fallen, you have never truly fallen apart. Amen.